So it's like this. If African Americans or black people in America, if they if they close down the NBA, if the NFL is closed down, say they even discontinue MLB, um, affirmative action is discontinued. Um, say rap is banned, or uh, none of the large record labels any longer produce rap music, okay, or they just get out of that business, right? What avenues, what means of communication will African Americans have to connect with one another to ensure some type of decency? Say news stations, excuse me, say news stations or television networks no longer, um, hire black actors and black anchors. What substantial footing will the African American community have? Um, I know I may not be formatting this 100% the way that I want this to get across, but yeah, say they take away the NBA and the NFL. Say they take away um, black entertainment television. All the networks mainly are, far as I know, white owned, right? And say no black television programming is considered. Say no black police officers are hired. Say so like what can we what do we have to ensure that we have a community and we have something substantial? Um, you're saying there's no reason to fear anything like that. I mean that's cool. I didn't say I was fearful of anything. I'm just asking a question, and with me posing that question doesn't necessarily uh, symbol fear. It just a question. Just wondering, is that something that black people would even need? Is would that be a concern if there was no NBA, NFL, if there were no 400 black males at any given time able to earn $1 million, um, and put them in a social ranking that enables other black people to have a certain level of respect and dignity. But I'm just saying, say we no longer have those platforms because we don't own any television. We don't own Sony, far as I know. Let me know if I'm wrong. If there's a black owner of Sony or uh, Warner Brothers or any other record labels or companies, and however that goes, television networks. Let me know, because I know World Star was an amazing a platform when it first started. It was a platform basically centered around African Americans. African Americans were able to submit, entertainment or news, and have those clips ultimately reviewed by African Americans, and the narrative would be pushed, or from the view of African Americans and how we thought that things were viewed and how we saw things. So if there were another network, they'll put their narrative on it, and they'll have their anchor. I saw a news broadcasting, and they're interviewing or doing a uh documentary on an African American lady of some sort, and she was just illustrating how things over history has negatively affected her community and her people and her ancestors. And the news anchor that uh, was quoting the lady, or um, summarizing what the lady was saying, she was also African American, the news anchor. Instead of saying, she said her people have been, prosecuted, or her people have been treated poorly throughout the years. And instead of the anchor saying our people, the lady said that our people have been treated poorly throughout the years. She separated herself, and she only would do that, or that will only be set up like that, because that news network narrative is not set for African Americans to have that type of narrative and that type of platform where it reaches the masses and is broadcast as, oh, yes, black and white. This situation for black people is improper and needs to be corrected. It's it's going to be thrown out as, is this prop? Is this an improper situation? Are blacks going through something? Tune in at 6. You know, Black Network may say, hey, we have a huge issue on our hands and we're going to dig deeper into it. Tune in at 6. So the people watching will already be geared up for, hey, okay, this is a situation that we need a solution to, right? The other narrative would lead a person to have an understanding of, let me see what's going on here, and allow me to um, learn more about what they're going to tell me and assist me in basing my opinion. And they're going to tell you things to have your opinion, not favor African Americans. So these people on the screen here, I don't know who the heck they are. I may know some, but how can we get our voice out? We have Tyler Perry there, who is a huge voice and runs a production company and has video cameras and has access to things. But, say some of these networks and things don't want to interview him and don't want to broadcast Netflix, or whoever doesn't want to, they're not broadcasting any African American television or, you know, programming. So what would be his next step to get his stuff out to the masses? We have Benjamin we have Benjamin Crump here. Benjamin Crump is an attorney. He usually advocates on the side of African Americans. Um, and you see Benjamin Crump through the local and maybe sometime national news broadcasting networks, through those same avenues of television programming and what they allow um, to be pictured and what they allow to be quoted. So if they chose to no longer publicize his actions and his deeds, what other avenues would we have to understand that we have people out here, fighting the good fight? You know, I don't really want to talk about Miss Harris. Kind of wanna Mr. Barack down there, and you got Serena right there. I mean, these are some of the elite, and you know, you have some people that's going to use their platform, and obviously, yeah, Mr. LeBron James there create a awesome dynamic there of having a whole family, right? Um, I'm not sure if he has a daughter or not. I want to say he has a daughter, but with the woman of the house being maybe the mother and the two sons, that's awesome. That's an awesome photo there. That's an awesome image. Barack Obama, that's an awesome image. I wish he would have had a child, a male child, while he was in the White House. I think that for history would have been crazy. Um, you got Serena, you got Miss Harris there. Some people kind of branch off a little bit, and we got to protect our women because, um, just like with the Kobe Bryant situation, um, I'm a big advocate of love who you love, like most definitely. But it's like in that situation with Kobe Bryant, he's deceased now, so all the black connections and things of that sort. Once again, I could be wrong, but those are severed. Those are gone. He was a black man. She's not a black woman. So the community that's going to accept her back in is probably her, whatever her race is, and they're going to bring her in, and she's back one of them. She's one of them. They're going to bring her in, protect her, and love her, and and give her, make her feel comforted. So if Serena ever wants to come back, if Miss Harris ever wants to come back, you know, we will be the community to comfort them. You know, um, unfortunately, the way that things are set up here, would they come back to us? Is that a thing? It's not a social circle for that. But who knows? I could be speaking all kind of crazy. But the ultimate understanding I want us to have is that it is important for African Americans to have something substantial that is through and through African American. Educational systems, banking institutions, power generating production plants and companies, oil refineries that are through and through African American. Like, we have so many businesses out there, and they don't need African Americans to to get their business off the ground. And I mean, they don't need them in the sense of, you don't have to be a partner. We don't have to go get with a black man to loan $4 million, to loan $30 million. Like, we don't need you. But black people, a lot of times we feel like, all right, it's three, four men, 3, 4 black women, and we want to start something, but we need some more investors. So now we're gonna let it be diluted because we feel as if we need someone that can ultimately, you know, break down the entire operation. We need some through and through black American automobile producers. Like, we have to have the educational system, and then we can funnel we have to have black hospitals. We can funnel, and then we can structure it and have a hospital that has dentist offices up in that bad boy. Wouldn't that make sense? Like you have malls, right? Huge malls. Like couldn't couldn't the mall really be a hospital? Like a one-stop shop for all that kind of stuff? And I'm not just talking about in a communist type of way. I'm talking about in a way where, say, a whole mall, straight black businesses. Like, and then when we do have something like that, it's usually foreigners, and then the law, for some reason, always cracks down really hard on there. You have the discount malls, which is really great, but we just don't utilize it because of the mindset that we have of what's real and what's fake and what's important and what's not important, and what you subject yourself to and what you don't subject yourself to. You know, you'll subject yourself to sub living standards, but you won't subject yourself to a knockoff pair of Air Jordans. You subject yourself to a car note and car insurance that you really can't afford because you don't want to be subject to an affordable car, an L regular car. So, but but this it's so horrible because the dope car that you spending $800, $600 a month paying and extra $200, $300 for your insurance is going to an insurance company that's not all black. It's going to a car manufacturer that's not all black, or a loan servicer that's not all black, and uh, the Jordans is not going to an all black corporation. And how that program is ran, and we got instead of having our mamas having to work at Walmart, we could be manufacturing shoes, and they could be working the goddamn putting shoes together. Have young black men in the design room, design boards, designing awesome sneakers, and we having all the tools and things that we need to make the production happen. When we can have these businesses and we understand that this person had a felony at 19 for having a gun. How many people have guns? And you're gonna hate your own piece, you're gonna hate your own person that looks like you because they had a gun? Or will you say that person had a gun, but they have no real criminal history, nothing criminal about that situation occur other than them having a gun and probably being in the whole parameter of situation where it was like in a fishbowl or animals in a cage, right? So how could we journey on to assist in the progression of our people? We have to we have to have something substantial for ourselves. The Magic Johnson Theaters was such epic, an epic maneuver. You could create a film and have a black theater. Do you know that some films don't get to theaters because of the middleman that don't look like you? Grocery stores, farming. Of course we have black farmers. Have to have something substantial. Are you going to, in your black grocery store, Are you going to inventorize your store with products that contain genetically modified organisms? Because if you had a grocery store, you could make that determination. That could be your choice. Where you get your chicken meat from could be your choice. Do you choose to get it from this farm or do you choose to get it from that farm? What do we have to substantiate ourselves if things hit the wall? If it hit the fan? No more NBA. All the owners of the NBA, these little 32 teams, say there ain't no more NBA. All these high school African American basketball players and hopefuls, all these black African Americans that are getting these scholarships to play a sport that the school no longer offers. Say all the colleges no longer offer, we don't have a basketball program at the University of Georgia. We don't have a football program at the University of Alabama anymore. We have other things. What how would that cause? What kind of shift would that be?